other one, Maxine is to the right, the one closest to us. They're both about 40 years old. The first thing I notice about them is their size. An Asian elephant can weigh more than 10,000 pounds and have to eat a lot of vegetation. For example, our elephants can eat up to 200 pounds of hay each day and drink 60 gallons of water. Now take a close look at their trunks if you can. There are more than 40,000 muscles in an elephant's trunk. That's more muscles than we have in our entire bodies. An elephant can use its trunk to gently pick up an egg without breaking it, or tear out a tree with tremendous force. Elephants get lots of personal attention here at the Bronx Zoo, including baths and pedicures twice a week. The large tree stump to the left of the exhibit is our elephant-sized back scratcher. Here is more about our conservation work with elephants.
WCS works with many species of tiger. WCS works in the field with both African and Asian elephants. Here is a note from our field scientists who work with Asian elephants.
My name is Donny Gunaryadi, and I'm the Elephant Conservation Coordinator for WCS Indonesia. The first time I saw a Sumatran elephant, I thought, this is a magnificent creature. They will be safe because they are so big. But the truth is, they have declined 50% since the 1980s. Even though rats and insects cause more damage to crops than elephants, because the elephant is so huge, psychologically, it seems more threatening. So when there is conflict, the farmers poison the elephants. In response, we created a crop protection unit to mitigate conflict and send the elephants back into the park. And it's been a huge success. Since we started in 2003, no elephants and no people have been killed.
Now, as we pull away from our elephant zone, we will be on the lookout for another large mammal. This animal has skin that looks like armor plates, has a big horn on the front of its nose, and looks to weigh about 3,500 pounds. We are on the lookout for our Indian rhino. Now, she doesn't appear to be on the left side, so we'll catch up to her on the right side of the exhibit. Today, all rhinos are highly endangered. Less than 2,000 Indian rhinos survive in India and Nepal. Here at the Bronx Zoo, we care for 5 endangered Indian rhinos. Caring for this very rare animal is one thing, but breeding is a huge challenge. For all the moms on the train today, I want you to imagine this. Female rhinos are pregnant for 16 months. Can you imagine being pregnant for almost a year and a half? A baby rhino will stay with his mother for 2 to 3 years, although weaning may only take 12 to 16 months. We have had 11 baby rhinos born right here at the Bronx Zoo. Now, right here in the mud wallow, you can see our 22-year-old female Penny. She's sitting in her mud wallow. Many people describe rhinos as armor-plated, but they are actually covered with a layer of skin that has many folds. So the skin of a rhino looks thick and tough. It is actually very sensitive and needs protection from the sun and from insects. One of a rhino's favorite ways to protect its skin is to sit in a mud wallow like Penny is doing right now.
Oh, there he is. Look at
Since wild days are opened in 1977, many rhinos have spent time enlarging this wallow. By stomping around in the mud, a rhino can shape and mold the area to its liking. Here's a word from one of our scientists about working with these rhinos.
The rhinos you see here are Indian rhinos. We work with habitats all over the world that are homes to rhinos. Here is a note from our field office in Sumatra, and Wulan, who works with the Sumatran rhino. Sumatran rhinos are the smallest of the world's rhinos, and they are considered critically endangered.
My name is Wulan Pusparini, and I'm the Species Conservation Specialist for WCS Indonesia program. We carried out an island-wide survey of the last wild population of Sumatran rhinoceros in Indonesia. With so many unknowns on how to manage Sumatran rhinos in the wild or captivity, our studies showed definitively that we must protect them at source. The cost of doing nothing could be the extinction of the species, and I can't imagine that.
Now, as we leave our rhino area behind, we need to be ready as our skills are about to be tested. In the next 2 areas, you will see what a challenging job our animal keepers really have. We will be on the lookout for 5 different deer species and 1 kind of antelope. Our largest deer might be easy to find at 5 feet tall. Another deer is only 40 pounds. Now, for most of the day, they've been hanging out on the far right of the exhibit, so we'll be catching up to them very shortly.
Found them in the back.
you may be wondering why some of our trees are wrapped in wire. We know that trees are very important because they provide the shade that our animals need, but sometimes the animals will eat part of the tree off or rub off the bark with their antlers. If the tree loses too much bark, it can die. So we make sure our trees are animal-proof. The wire helps protect the trees from the animals, and the animals still get to clean their horns on the wire. Here you can see some of our Formosan Sika deer. Formosan Sika deer are native to the island of Taiwan, formerly known as Formosa. Overhunting and habitat loss limited to the last wild herd of these spotted deer in the early 1970s. Today they are only found in zoos or national parks in Taiwan, where they were successfully reintroduced. Now, way in the back, those really small deer you see are our hog deer. The hog deer gets its name because it's short and heavy like a hog. This deer also moves like a hog. It creeps, runs low, and ducks under things, unlike most other deer. Now, those larger deer you see are our sandbar deer. Males stand up to 5 feet tall at the shoulder and can weigh as much as 650 pounds. Their antlers can grow up to 3 feet long and have 3 points on each bar. In the wild, male sandbar deer tend to live alone, while females live in small groups. Coming up over here, you can see China's tufted deer. You guys are really lucky because they're out here right now. In the warm weather, they do like to hide, so we are very fortunate that they're not hiding right now. At less than 40 pounds. Well, the ones we passed by, the 2 that we're eating, those are full grown. That's as big as they get. A fun fact about this animal is that when the tufted deer makes noise, its call sounds very much like the bark of a dog. Males have long upper canines, tusks that can be showing, earning them the nickname the vampire deer. These little deer are very rare in zoos outside of China. We are now passing back over the Bronx River. Thousands of commuters cross this waterway every day, but underneath the highways and our elevated tracks, the river still rushes along, providing a habitat for ducks, turtles, fish, and migrating birds. If you look carefully, you might see the outlines of fish. Whether it's the Bronx River in New York or the Irrawaddy River in Asia, rivers and streams are vital resources for wildlife.
Yeah, I see them mostly over there.
Now, the rocky terrain in this next area is the perfect environment for our next 2 species. Both are adapted to climbing rugged mountain slopes. We are on the lookout for our Himalayan tar and our markhors. Now, sitting on this rock over here is one of our juvenile male markhors. His horns have not finished growing yet. Over here by this fallen tree, if you see the one with the very big horns, that is one of our alpha males. Now the markhors are the ones with the corkscrew horns. Markhors are Pakistan's national animal. Males have horns up to 5 feet tall, while females have horns up to 10 inches tall. Markhor means snake eater in the Persian language. Also, the markhor can jump 6 feet in the air without a running start.
That's the alpha. Yeah.
Now, normally at this part of our tour, we will be showing you our red pandas. However, unfortunately, due to construction on Jungle World behind us, they have been relocated to a different part of the zoo. If you would like to see our red pandas, you can visit our Himalayan Highlands exhibit located just a short walk from the monorail. At that exhibit, you can also see one of Asia's big cats, the snow leopard. Now, as we round this bend, our journey is almost at an end. You have heard from some of our animal experts here and in the field and tried out some of your very own science field while on this ride. We hope you've been inspired by what you have heard and seen today. Now remember, the Bronx Zoo is part of the Wildlife Conservation Society, also known as WCS. In addition to managing 5 parks in New York City, including the Bronx Zoo, the New York Aquarium, Central Park Zoo, Queens Zoo, and Prospect Park Zoo, the WCS also has scientists at more than 300 sites in over 60 countries. Conflicts between humans and wildlife are becoming a more common concern all over the world, but WCS scientists both in the field and here at the Bronx Zoo are working to find solutions to ensure the survival of endangered wildlife worldwide. And you can help our efforts. Just By visiting us today, you are helping us help wildlife. You can discover other ways to get involved as well. Visit us online, join an education program, or become a Zoo member. Your Zoo map has all the information to help you stay connected. Now we're going to be making a brief stop. This is not our final stop. Please remain seated. We'll only be here for a few moments while we let our computer reset.
What?
Not on this.
Yeah.
Not on this. Oh, yeah. That's cool. And here we go. If you would like to join us in saving wildlife and wild places, you can visit WCS.org to take action. You can join a 96 Elephants campaign to save African elephants from poaching. You can also help protect the incredible ocean ecosystem right off our very own New York coastline by joining our Blue York campaign. Go to blueyork.org to learn more. Now, as we approach our platform, our adventure is now coming to an end. Please remain seated until the train doors open and watch your step when you are exiting the monorail car. Remember, there is a step up for people exiting from the front row, and a step down for those in the back row. On behalf of the Bronx Zoo, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. Come back and visit us again soon.
Was that fun?